I just spent 5.5 hours watching anime for the first time in my life because my viewers convinced me to. And I'm gonna watch the first episode of all these recommendations. Well, I already have. You're about to see it. And then you'll see me rank them in order of best to worst and whether or not I would continue watching these series going forward. So let's cut to Mel 5.5 hours ago when I started this. Hi. So on stream last Sunday, I kind of came up with the idea myself, but I was inspired by Vegas to do this. Vegas basically said that I should watch the first episode of Attack of Titans and I'm gonna love it. I'm gonna watch any anime episode, I should watch that. And that kind of led me to this idea. I asked everybody who was in stream at the time if they were willing to recommend one single anime, and all I would do is watch the first episode and base my sole opinion off just that. Which anime would they recommend? 10 people at the stream that day recommended animes, and I'm gonna watch those today, literally. And I also said that Dennis should be able to recommend one because one, he was sleeping at the time, and two, he's been asking me to watch anime for like almost a decade, so I gotta at least include him in that, and he did make a suggestion as well. I'm thinking at the end of each episode I'll give my general thoughts, and then at the end I guess I'll tier list them. I'm not sure. Maybe that's a good idea. Literally making a video idea plan as I'm making a video. First time watching anime in my entire life. I'm giving it a shot. Maybe I'll like these, maybe I won't. But for the purpose of this, I will watch just the first episode and give my true thoughts. And in addition to that, Dennis also said that if I used his Crunchyroll, I had to make my own profile. He said I would ruin his profile if I watched them on his account. Fair. I made my own. I picked a background picture from Attack of Titans, and my profile picture is from Spy on Family, I believe that was from. Spy X Family. I don't know. All I knew is those two were on my list. That's it. I don't know anything about them. No idea. There's no bias. I just picked things that were relevant to the things on my list and that were also available to pick on Crunchyroll as background options and profile pictures. It just don't read into it too much. I haven't watched anything, literally nothing. I might have watched Sailor Moon when I was like 4 years old. I have vague memories of Sailor Moon, but I don't think that counts. I remember there was a cat, maybe a black cat. I don't know. I could be making things up now. Childhood memories are weird. But anyways, we're gonna get into this. Like I said, 11 anime episodes. Oh, and I will obviously watch the subbed version of these animes as much as literally possible. I don't know if all of these have that option. They should, right? I don't know, but that's how they were created. That's how they were meant to be watched. I have respect for that. So you take that as you want to take that, coming from a person who doesn't watch anime. Yeah. And if for any reason I couldn't find the sub version for some strange, I don't know, if that's a possibility, I'll watch it dubbed. But I'm telling you, that's not what I wanted to do. All right. So we're gonna get into these. Browse. Where's my, I literally made a watch list. Is it here? Okay. Episode 1. I don't have my headphones on. I'm an idiot. Stop. I'm not ready. There's already birds. Holy shit. I don't even know if I even said that was Attack of Titan recommended by Vegas. Okay, thoughts. First of all, the metaphor that game had of like, this is how humanity is to all of small animals and destruction and causes chaos, and like what that metaphor was really good. For a first episode, I honestly think that could have been it. I'm not even kidding. That could have been like a short movie and like we don't even need anymore. Like that could have been it. I feel like there was a beginning, a middle, and an end. I like how they started the episode with like the end, like almost the end, backtracked and then went forward, like the time travel there.
And just like that, everything changed. At that terrible moment, in our hearts, we knew home was a pen. Humanity, cattle.
I enjoyed the first episode. I think that was actually really well done. When it started, I anticipated there'd be a lot of action, but even the parts where there's action, I feel like they did it well. Okay, so the next one on the list is Kaiju number 8. Sorry if I'm saying these wrong. This was recommended by Slash. What? For a first episode. Damn. Okay, that one, still a lot of action. A lot of action. Not really the type of things I would normally be watching. Another issue I had was the poop stuff.
長だ噂には聞きますけど調査業ってやっぱきついんすかあれをやった日にゃ
I could go without. Just saying, I can go without. It did have quite the twist at the end, though. That really captivated me. I was super interested in that.
見つけた。
先輩 先輩
But a lot of it up to, well, the background story of him and his friend, I like that. I don't know. We'll see. We're gonna move on to the next one. Okay, so the next one on our list is called Berserk, recommended by Gabriel. I literally got like an age restriction warning when I clicked this one in Crunchyroll, so I don't know what that's gonna mean. So we'll see. We'll see what I watch. Okay, so first of all, there's one part there where we see like the souls finally like releasing the skeletons, I guess. Kind of poetic. Yeah, they had a lot of shock value. It was very gross. It was very unsettling to watch a lot of things. Way too much action, like zero story. And maybe they tried to kind of sprinkle a story in there, which would make significantly more sense like another 10 episodes into it. But as just watching like the first episode, I saw zero story. So there's that. Anyways, moving on to the next one. Okay, so next is Spy X Family, which was recommended by Jacob. So we'll see. Okay, that was really, really cute. It had like a story. There was a well-established story. Not so much the backstory. We got like a little bit, but like we know what's going on. We're invested in the characters. Obviously, we want to watch more. She has to go to this school. He needs a wife. They need an actual family. Like it's cute in this little relationship that like he developed. It's just cute. This one's a really cute one. I like it. And there was a little bit of action in it, but not so much that like I wanted to fall asleep, you know? That was really cute. So the next one is Ouran High School Host Club, which this one was recommended by Travus. So we'll see. Okay, that was cute. That was funny. I did not expect him, her, to be a girl. At the end, that was confusing.
タオルだお前女なのか
生物学上は一応。先輩たちが男と思っているなら別にそれでもいいかなと。
Okay, I'm just reading the description here, and it sounds like the premise of the anime is to keep it a secret that he's actually a girl. So that's interesting because I wasn't sure, like, okay, how are they going to go about that for the future episodes? Like, that seems kind of odd, but that makes sense now. So the rest of the series basically is hiding the fact that he's actually a girl, and meanwhile the whole time I feel like this character is gonna fall in love with her. So that's gonna be a really interesting dynamic. This is a tough one to just base my opinion on the first episode because, like, yes, we got to know the different characters and the different personas and stuff. Yes, we can see a lot of humor in this, but it was what I was worried about with watching only the first episode, is that they don't get into much other than like briefly touch the surface of like what the show is gonna be. I do like it, I do enjoy it, and I do like how they called out that line little biatch so quickly.
焼きもち
don't act like you're a victim when literally nothing happened to you. Like, that's the worst thing you can do. But I like the whole premise of this anime. I like how it's a high school thing. I like how it's a little goofy story. We're gonna go to the next one now. Okay, so this one is called The Pet Girl of Sakcurasou. Kelly recommended this one, so we'll see where this takes us. Okay, that was funny. That was really cute. At the beginning of that anime, I wasn't really sure where it was going. I was like, I don't know. This is like a general high school experience, I guess, if you will. I don't know. I thought it was mostly just about that main guy's character, like his story. But then when she was introduced in the story, is that Sakura, I guess her name is? When she was introduced in the story, then I was like, okay, I'm seeing the potential. And then it just like took off from there.
おい朝だぞ朝ですよ
朝はもう来ないわ。
いやいや来てるから怖いこと言うな
おはよう。
I really enjoyed that one. I think that was really good. Yeah, majority of these are doing really well for like first episode experiences. I've told a couple people about my idea of what I'm doing, and like they kind of also said the same thing. Like, it's the first episode, like what can you really expect? But like so far, so good. So the next one on our list is Paranoia Agent. Again, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. This one was recommended by JV, a Father's Gaming Challenge. So we'll see. As usual, we'll see. Okay, that was very, very, very interesting. You know what? That's another one that kind of feels more like that episode alone could just be a movie, and then that is that. I mean, I would want a little bit more wrapped up in that movie per se. But what I'm really curious is this kid character now like helping her somehow? So is he on her side? So many unanswered questions. Really interesting though. I'm shocked overall. All right, so the next one up is Uzumaki, and this was recommended by Skin Boy. And already from what I see, the art animation style of this is completely different than any anime we've watched so far or will be watching at all. So this is going to be interesting.
This program is rated 18 plus and contains scenes of violence, coarse language, and mature subject matter. Viewer
Oh,
discretion
I guess this is in
advised.
English. All right, this is in English. Wait, it says dub. Oh, that's weird. This is the only one I could find, so that it is what it is. Bitch, that was really good. What the I think because the art animation style was just like so different than what we watched so far, I'm like, well, I don't know. I don't know, right? But holy cow. So is that just like a one season, looks like 4 episodes kind of thing? That was it? That's one of the most unsettling things I've ever watched, ever.
It finally dawned on me, you see. I've realized that you can manifest spirals yourself. Look what I can do. You'll be amazed.
Like I always say when I play games, especially horror games or psychological games or anything like that, anything that makes me feel something, whether that's like scared or uneasy or uncomfortable or excited or happy, whatever, any emotion, I give a lot of props to that because I feel like that's difficult sometimes, oftentimes to get through media. But that made me feel so many disturbing and unsettling things. And so that alone, I think that was really, really well done. And I'm shocked. I'm quite shocked. Wow. All right, moving on to the next one. All right. Okay, so this one's called Bo-bobo. Wait, what is it? Bo-bobo. I don't even know. This was recommended by the BLUEOrge. So, as usual, we'll see what this is. Okay, so there's two main things with this anime for me anyways. I think the biggest thing mostly is there's a lot of action. There's a lot of things happen. There's a lot of fighting. I've never been one that's interested in watching any type of action movie or playing very intensive fighting games or anything like that. So that automatically for me is just not my cup of tea, to say the least. The second part is that this anime is a very, in my opinion, a very stereotypical anime. And this is what I, for the longest time, believed that all animes were like. And I was like, hey, that's not really something I'd ever watch. Doesn't really interest me. So I can see where this is going for me, anyways, on the tier list. I was gonna add that they didn't really have much story to this, but then, like, he did say a little bit of his backstory and stuff. But, like, I don't know. As a whole, it didn't captivate me. And I get it. I'm a unique human being who is watching anime for the first time and giving it a chance, and I'm watching probably one of the most stereotypical animes, and people are like, wow, why doesn't she like this? This is what anime is. But it's just not my cup of tea. And it's just my opinion. At the end of the day, it's just my opinion. Okay, next up is Toradora, and this was recommended by Juan. I remember him saying in chat that this was a romance type of anime, and I see that it has a subgenre as romance here. That's literally all I know about it. As always, as usual, we're just gonna go into this and see how it goes. Okay, that one was really cute. And I feel like there's a lot more characters in that show that we didn't get introduced to in the first episode. So, like, definitely a reason to watch more. Also, I feel like we didn't get really much of a story either, which, again, is one of those things we anticipated with the first episode of animes. But we got a little bit of his backstory, like the tiniest bit, nothing about her. And even, like, the story of the whole, like, where this anime is leading to, I feel like there's a lot of unknowns. We see like a relationship building between these two.
何これ。
よまだ途中だけどな。だいぶ綺麗になったろ。
不法侵入。しかも押し付け掃除。マーキングしてないでしょうね、この犬。
But to go off like the first episode, I think it's cute. I obviously think the anime as a whole and the whole season would have a lot of potential, but the first episode, I don't know. This is gonna be so hard to do the tier list. We have one more after this. Okay, so this is the final recommendation of what anime I should watch, and this was technically recommended by Dennis. He wasn't literally in the stream that night, but I did say on the stream that I'm gonna ask Dennis what his recommendation is because he was sleeping, and he's always wanted me to watch anime for like 10 years, and I didn't watch it at all until now. So this was his recommendation. I'm saving it for last, and the tier list is going to be tough after this. I know it's going to be tough, but we're going to watch this and then we'll sort that out. So Dennis recommended Heaven's Lost Property for me to watch, and we'll see how it goes and we'll go from there. Okay. Like, I feel so bad. Dennis has been asking me for literally nearly 10 years to watch anime, and I haven't watched it until now. And holy mother of God, that was top tier. I know that says a lot about me, but that was so good. Like, oh my God, we got world domination.
先ほど世界征服プログラムを起動しました。
まさか。
We got self-unaliving.
はい、マスター。
We got chaos, we got shock value, we got boobs, we got sex jokes. Like we have it all. That was good.
脱げとか。
はい。
ごめん。あ、嘘。今のなし。
I'm an idiot for not watching that sooner. I'm such a idiot. Oh my god. Okay, no, I love that. That was great. Yeah, tier listing this is gonna be very challenging, but let's switch over to full screen. Is that better? Okay. Oh, this is gonna be so hard to tier list everything and like decide exactly where I want everything to go. So I'm gonna try my very best. I will say overall, majority of these are very high in the tier list. Either I absolutely liked it or it just wasn't my cup of tea. This is gonna be hard. This is gonna be hard. I would even put anything F tier or E tier. I think the lowest would be D tier. Yeah. D tier, I'm gonna put Berserk. There wasn't like any story. There wasn't any hook to really drive me or to like continue watching it or really captivate me in any sense. Yes, there was the shock value. Yes, it was really out there, really scary, horror, weird, gross, disgusting, all that. So I would put that as a D tier. And I think the other D tier would be Bo-bobo. Mainly because this was like a typical anime and like one of the biggest reasons I never watched anime this entire time, because I really did think majority of animes were like this and it just wasn't my cup of tea. So for me personally, I just didn't like the style and way too much action, and it was giving like Dragon Ball Z and stuff like that, which is like perfectly fine as animes if you're into that. It's even like action movies. I just don't like action movies. That's just the type of person I am. Doesn't mean that you can't like action movies. You know what I mean? Okay, and this is where things are gonna get extremely difficult. C tier, I'm gonna put Kaiju number 8. It did have a nice twist at the end, which I feel like if I was with somebody who like really liked the show, I'd be like, yeah, you know, I'd watch up with you. I'd continue the series, but on my own, I wouldn't. It wasn't enough for me to want to continue watching it. Yes, there could be a lot of potential to that one. I'm not saying there isn't, but based on merely the first episode and how much action it is and how it's just probably not gonna be for me from what I see, it's gonna be a C tier. Again, a C tier isn't bad. It's just that's where I'd put it. It's the only one in C tier. We're already moving up to B tier. Like this is where everything is gonna sit. It's either gonna be an S tier, an A tier, or a B tier. Because I am gonna say everything left on this list I would continue to watch. I'm not kidding. Do I have the time to continue to watch all of them? Of course not. Why would I? Because this is like my most difficult problem in my life. I just don't have time. S tier for me would have to be the ones I would 110% continue to watch. And there are some that I'm thinking in my mind that I could put up there because I really enjoyed the first episode, but I wouldn't watch past the first episode. So let's focus on B tier. Okay, the first one I'm gonna put in B tier would be Ouran High School Host Club. It is so close to being an A tier because I can see so much potential with that one and really enjoying the series, but based on the first episode alone, that's the only reason I wouldn't put it up to A tier. I bet you if I watched like one or two more episodes of that, I probably would, but just the first episode, I wanted a little bit more background story of the character other than just kind of implying like everyone's rich except for one guy. I just didn't get quite everything I would prefer in a first episode, and I know I'm asking for a lot, but for that reason I'd put it B tier. I am not sure if I would continue watching the series. I would strongly consider it. Probably what reality is I probably would watch another couple episodes just to see where it heads, because I think it'd be funny. I think it'd be enjoyable, but based on that first episode alone, it's a B tier for me. It's the highest one on the B tier list, but it's still a B tier. Spy X Family, I really still enjoyed. Like this is still a B tier rating, which again is really good. There was a little bit too much of action there. It did hook me and made me interested in the story of the anime, like going forward to see what's gonna happen next. I could see myself again watching one or two more episodes to see where it takes me. Will I watch a whole season at this point? I don't think so, but I am curious what's gonna happen with that story and who the mom is gonna be. But it's still only B tier. Again, B tier is still really good. And the last one I'll put on B tier is Toradora. The biggest thing with Toradora, it was interesting. It had an interesting character to it. Again, there's probably a lot of potential to this anime. Like we see at the beginning, the end credits, there's a lot more characters. Of course, you can't introduce like 5,000 characters in the first episode. So I'm not like saying that's a bad thing, but I just think again, it has a lot of potential going forward. I like the dynamic between those two characters, but I didn't feel like I love those characters. I didn't feel like connected to them. I didn't feel like I need to continue the show to see what happens next. Like if it was just a one-off one episode and that was all there was to it, like an anime short, if you will, I'd be like, yeah, that was enjoyable, that was good, but I don't need more. I would like more, maybe, perhaps, possibly, but I didn't feel like I need to watch more. I know, that's weird. Paranoia Agent is definitely A tier. That, I believe, is the only one that really scared me. Like, I actually jumped and got like a pretty, I would say a pretty big scare.
ねえマロミ魔法ちょうだい
Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I was very interested in the story. I was very interested in the characters. I was very interested, like all the characters that they introduced, I was interested in. I thought the anime style, like the art style, was unique and interesting. I'm saying interesting a lot. I would for sure watch a full season of that. A whole series beyond a full season, I'm not sure, but I would like to see at least that season, how it progresses and where it goes, and more about this like character, like the kid that hit her with a baseball bat. What the heck is going on with him? Who is he? What is he doing? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? I need to know. I'm pretty interested in that one. I want to know how the old lady plays into all of that. And yeah, I kind of at first thought it's like, oh, is this like a mundane, like working a 9 to 5, life sucks kind of anime? But then it ended up being very psychological horror, I feel. I don't know. I really did enjoy that one. Uzumaki's also going to go into A tier. The thing with this one, I will say I will technically watch the whole series only because it's only 4 episodes. So in my brain, in a way, it's like, oh, well, if you're going to watch a whole series anyways, shouldn't it be automatically S tier? But they kind of have an advantage with that because it's only 4 episodes. If this was something that was 2 or 3 seasons long, I would not watch the whole series. And I know that for a fact. I would watch this season. Even if it was 8 episodes or 12 episodes, I would watch this season. But if it was anything beyond that, I would say no. So I thought that was really, really well done. It made me feel a lot of emotions watching it. I felt extremely disturbed watching it.
Since the funeral, she can't see a spiral without breaking down.
A spiral! A spiral!
She was so scared of her own hair world that she shaved her head. And then
Oh no, oh god.
she cut off the tips of her fingers and toes to remove the prints.
And I enjoy that. I think that's really well done if a show or a game or any type of medium is able to do that to you. If it's able to make you feel something, that accounts for a lot. It didn't give much of the story per se, but then it also did in its own little way. So I think it was really well done. I would for sure watch the rest of that. I really enjoyed it and didn't really expect that, especially with it being a different anime style, being black and white, but like I would recommend that to a lot of people. Like that was a good one. So S tier. I feel like everybody kind of anticipates what I'm going to say for S tier to start here, but Heaven's Lost Property. I mean, of course Dennis knows me so well and wouldn't know exactly what anime to recommend to me that I would actually like it and be interested, and he gives these rights. Like, I mean, if any of y'all knew that you could just put boobs in an anime and it'd probably just put you up on that tier list real high or real fast, you all probably would have recommended a booby anime for me. But he did have that advantage. But it had a lot more than just that. I would watch that entire series for sure. The first episode was so well done. We got to know this character really well, and we see this potential of him changing as a person so much throughout the series. Like, you can just tell that by the first episode, which is fantastic. You see these dynamics between characters as well, which obviously, like, I want to know what's going on with these two, this angel, this boy, like, I don't know. And I like how they introduced even like the side characters. I like the shock value of it. I just enjoyed it. It was just enjoyable. It was funny. It was shocking. It was good. And there was one point there where the world ended and the angel was about to unalive herself, and I was like, wait, this is only episode 1. What the hell? Like, what's gonna happen? I don't get it. Like, how could this be a whole show? And then it made sense. And yeah, we figured it out. But that's definitely S tier. Okay, so we're down to the last 2. Attack on Titan and the Pet Girl of Sakcurasou. I don't know, again, if I'm saying that right. Yes, I intentionally left these last 2 because Kelly and Vegas were having conversations in the chat about which one would be better than the other. And what it really came down to, both of these, the first episode, were fantastic in totally different ways. When I watched Attack of Titans, I did say that if this was its own movie or like a little short film or however I worded it, I'd be very happy with that. The biggest reason Attack of the Titans will not stay in the S tier is literally because I know me and I know it's gonna have too much action for me as the whole season that I wouldn't continue watching the show for that reason. They did a really good job on the first episode. If someone told me it was only gonna be like an hour and a half max movie, I would for sure watch the entire movie, no doubt in my mind. But because it's a whole season, it's multiple seasons, it's a series, I don't know how many seasons they even have. Because of all of that, I know I will get lost in a bad way after a couple episodes. As a first episode, they did a phenomenal job. When I started with that one, it actually made me worried about every single thing I would watch after. I want to put it as the perspective because so many people, and this is kind of how the conversation started, so many people will say that like, oh, you should watch a show, it's really, really good. You watch the first episode of it and then you're like, I didn't really get into it. And they're like, no, you gotta watch a couple more before you get into it. It starts off really slow. That show started off great. I'm gonna give them props for that. But just knowing me, knowing my genre, everything else, I would watch the first couple episodes because I kind of want to know what happens after they like leave that town and everything else. And the freaking Titans and Giants, like they're scary. As a first episode, and only if we ranked every first episode, I could say this for sure. If only we ranked every first episode on this list, like which one did it the best, Attack of Titans did do it the best, 100%. But does it have potential to do an entire season well, entire series well? That's where I'm not sure. I think they put too much in the first episode, and I don't think the rest is going to follow through. That's all I gotta say about that. But for a first episode tier list, yeah, they're number one. They were S tier. They were the first in the S tier. It's just beyond that, that's where they struggle. So for the sake of this, it's gonna go in A tier. And finally, the Pet Girl of Sakcurasou. I can't even say it. That was right up my alley. It was funny. It was interesting. It captivated me. It just hooked me from the beginning. I don't even know really what else to really like say about that. It feels like a little fun comedy type anime to watch and enjoy. And like I said when I watched it too, I thought it was just about this one main character and his experiences of life. But once we got that second main character girl, the teacher's niece, was it, or cousin, I can't remember the relation, I think cousin, that he picked up from the train station, I was like, oh, she is making this show actually good and I want to watch it now.
洗面所で直してこい。ついでに顔も洗う。なんだこれ。シーナのイメージがどんどん壊れていく。
空と。
終わったか。そう。お前あのな、何かつけろ。
So that one character really pulled through, but definitely S tier. I'm surprised and not surprised for a whole lot of different reasons for this whole tier list. I'm really, really happy I did this. I'm giving anime a chance, guys. You've convinced me, and I'm really impressed and shocked with everybody's recommendation for this. I mean, you all really came through with picking like the best of what you liked for anime, and it was really cool to see a difference in animes that were recommended to me. I was also surprised by that. Like, I don't know, I kind of thought they'd all be like the same in a way, but they were all very different. Even the animation styles were different, the storylines were different, the characters were different. It's just every single one I liked for different reasons. And like I said, my life has a huge time strain. I mean, there's so many things I want to do and so little time to do it. But of everything on this list, like honestly, like yeah, I'd recommend majority of it to all of you to watch. Anyways, that was really fun. I mean, this was a project I didn't even expect to even do, and we just kind of came up with it, and it was really fun and cool to do. If you guys have any suggestions of something similar to do like this in the future, I don't even know. Maybe I don't know. If you have any suggestions, please leave them in the comments below. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I really, really do appreciate it, and take it easy. And I am so tired. You have no idea. Bye.
I know you told your friend you're not okay, and tell me what's wrong and why you never said you felt that way. Trying to stay strong and fake a smile until